Hey, what's up, closers? I'm up here in the hotel room in Boise after a long, man, it's freaking cold up here. My Texas blood does not survive well up here in cold-ass Boise. Especially yesterday, I played some golf with some sales pros and some badass sales guys, by the way. I played some golf with them, dude, and it rained, and it got cold, and it got warm again. Dude, I'm all sunburnt, so my face isn't looking the best today. It's all red and shit, right? I don't have high blood pressure, just have red face, guys. So, the reason you probably wonder what the hell is the closer doing up in Boise, Idaho, right? Like, don't Mormons run deviants like me out of these kind of cities, right? And I have a friend that lives up here, and he runs a mastermind, and I've been in this mastermind all day today. And like since 9 o'clock this morning, like trapped in a room with 35 other people. And in a mastermind situation, it doesn't matter if it's my friend that I'm part of the mastermind, I do these all the time. And the thing about the mastermind situation is you learn from other people. And see, one of the things that I've learned over the years is some of the best salespeople out there don't even call themselves salespeople. My friend that's running the mastermind here is one of the greatest salespeople I've ever met in my life. But if you call him a salesman, you'd be like, no, I'm not a salesman, I'm an internet marketer, right? Some of the best salespeople I know are writers, right? Like they don't qualify themselves as salespeople. But what makes a person a sales expert is surrounding themselves with people who are other sales experts. Oh man, you gotta hate that cutout. Sorry about that. Surrounding yourself with other sales experts so that you can take bits and pieces of knowledge away from people. Because if you're over here on one hand and you need some knowledge and the people on the other side have that knowledge, you come together, right? Then all of a sudden that knowledge has been bestowed on you, right? Bestowed on you. I'm not pointing to me, I'm pointing to you. So the thing is, what's made me a sales expert and what's made me great, and actually somebody commented on my page the other day saying that I'm no different than any other sales trainer from the past. And look, there's no new words, right? The only new words we're making up are like swag and fleek and shit like that, right? Words that we sales pros for the most part don't use. So there's no new words out there, just like there's no new sales techniques. There's new ways of selling using funnels, opt-in codes, retargeting, advertising. There's new ways of selling, but there's no new words that sell. There's all sorts of unlimited combinations of words that you can use to sell, but what makes somebody a sales expert is studying and modeling what's worked. You know, I've learned from Zig Ziglar, I've learned from Napoleon Hill, I've learned from Andrew Carnegie, through books, obviously. Those guys died long before I showed up, just so we're clear on that. And in modern times, I've learned from Kevin Nations, I've read Tom Hopkins' books, I've read Todd Duncan books, I've followed and read Grant Cardone's books. Like I've learned from other sales experts, even the 35 that were in the room today. I don't go anywhere to want to be the smartest person in the room. I don't want to read a book and go, I know that shit. Because here's the thing, words are really special, right? And this is what I think, like, it's a true sales expert understands this. Words have a special way of doing this to us. What happens is we can go all of our lives and we've heard the same words, right? There's no new words in the dictionary, like I said earlier, right? There's separate buzzwords we make up. So we can go all of our lives and hear these words, the same words, but somehow strung in a magical combination. It's almost like a musical chord on a guitar or something like that, but with the right words strung in the right combination, it unlocks the combination inside of somebody's head to their wallet to where they're like, okay, I'll buy your stuff. And the amazing thing is you can hear the same words your entire life. You can hear, and it also unlocks your mind to unlimited possibilities. Nobody said any brand new words in this room today that I was in. I had heard every word that they had ever said. There was no words where I was like, can you define that, please? But here's the thing, the magic combination that they chose to use those words in, the sentences that they chose to string those words, the way they strung those words together, opened my mind to all sorts of possibilities today. Literally from one day masterminding with other multimillionaires, I was able to put together another $1 million plan, a plan to add another 7 figures to my income for the year, my business for the year. Actually not income, it would be gross income for the company for the year, just by listening to these people in this room say words that I had heard before but happened to be in a magical combination that gave me that, oh shit, that's a great idea, right? Nothing new under the sun, just the right words strung the right way, unlocked the combination inside my brain and went, I believe that shit and I'm going to get into it. So here's the thing. What makes somebody a sales expert is constantly seeking those words. And if you're not a sales expert right now and you're trying to become a sales expert, so say you're just coming up and you're starting at your first sales job, or say you've been in sales for a long time and you're not making the money that you want to, so you know you're not a sales expert, or you would be making the money you want, right? That's a tough reality, but somebody's got to say it to you. Might as well be the hardcore closer. So when you're coming up in sales, the best way to become a sales expert is to surround yourself with other people who are selling. Now, maybe you don't have the money to come here to Boise, Idaho like I did and spend got a little spit on my lip there, and spend a bunch of money to join multimillionaires and be in this mastermind. People from Australia, the UK, there's people from everywhere here, right? Maybe you don't have that amount of money, and that's okay. You'll get there, right, through selling. But when you're at work, the people you choose to talk to. See, I noticed this trend when I was working in the mortgage business and the car business and pretty much every corporate environment that I've ever had to go visit for training. It's like the people that aren't selling, they'll hang out at the water cooler with the other people who aren't selling and then bitch together about how they're not selling stuff. I don't ever see, and I have the answer why, so stick with me, I'm going to give you the answer, but in any corporate environment I've ever been in, worked in, served in, trained in, whatever, I've never seen the people that aren't selling something down there hanging out at the top producer's cubicle. Two reasons. Reason number one, they're intimidated by him, right? Reason number two, he's busy closing sales, he ain't got time to hang out at the water cooler. And what I'm telling you is stop hanging out at the water cooler or going to lunch with the guys that ain't making sales and start befriending that top producer. Ask him what books he's reading. Ask him how he's making the money. Ask him his process. 9 times out of 10, they'll be more than happy to share it with you, right? We're all excited that we're successful and we want other people to be successful as well. Hell, that's what I do for a living. I have some sales that work and I share them with you guys because I want you to be successful as well, right? That's my whole basis. And most people are that way. Most top producers are like, thank God another dude. Like there's somebody else in the office, would be a dude or chick. Most of my clients are guys, right? So there's somebody else in the office that acknowledges the effort, that acknowledges the work that I put in, and they'll take you under their wing 9 times out of 10. Right? There's a reason that person's the top producer in sales, and it's not because they're an asshole and nobody likes them. It's because they're personable. They know how to pick out the personality traits, and if you exhibit those personality traits towards them, guess what happens? They say, hey man, let me take you under my wing here and show you how I did this, right? But the thing is, most of us are intimidated by that. Not me, right? But most people are intimidated by that just for the simple fact they're like, the top producer, man, I can't go hang around with him. I got to hang around with people on my level. And I'm telling you right now, that's bullshit. When I walked in that room today, my goal was to be the brokest motherfucker in the entire room. You know why? Because that means that I can only learn information to help make me some more money. I can only surround myself with people who are better than me, people who are making more money, making more sales, doing more deals, working on a global, doing software, all these other things, right? There was only room for me to go up as I go into that room. If I'd have walked into the room today that I paid the amount of money and I'd have been the richest person in the room, I'd have been really let down. If I'd have been the smartest person in the room, I'd have really been let down. But instead, I've surrounded myself with people better than me. And maybe, like I said, you can't pay for the mastermind right now. Maybe you can. Maybe you should join a mastermind. I recommend mine. You can go to hardcorecloser.com/hardcore-closer-mastermind. It's the world's shittiest URL. I apologize about that. And you can apply to be a part of my mastermind, right? Think about is it's not just about being in a mastermind. They're great. It's about being in a Facebook group with like-minded people. Join the Sales Talk with Sales Pro group. We're 21,000 sales pros in there. There's no bullshit in there. We kick spammers out. It's clean, right? Go surround yourself and then pick people that you see that give content in there, like Jonathan Dawson, Alan Dickey, and some of the other guys back there that are giving good content, myself included. Surround yourself with us, right? Learn from us. Let us lift you up. Get away from those losers at the water cooler that ain't closed 3 deals their whole life. Those guys ain't going to instill any value into your life, right? What's going to make you a sales expert is getting aligned with other sales experts and copying and modeling what they're doing, the same habits, the same routines, the same word tracks, the same calls, the same scripts, all that stuff. But listen, I can tell you this, if you keep hanging out with people who are on your level, you'll stay on that level. Think about that for a second. Let it sit. If you keep hanging out with people who are on your level, then that's all you're going to ever be able to hang out with. How are you going to go to the next level hanging out with people on your level? And oftentimes what happens is, especially if we start making a little money in sales, what happens is all of a sudden our friends that aren't making as much money are over here, and our other friends that aren't making as much, that are making more money over here, and we feel more gravitated towards these people over here, and we start hanging out with them. Right? We're like, well, you know, I'm paying for their bar tab and shit because it makes me feel like king, killer, big dick, fucking whatever the hell, right? Like, and we have these revelations, right? When in reality, you should always be friending up. And you say, well, dude, I don't know cool people, or I don't know any top producers, or I am the top producer and I'm still broke. This business ain't what it is. You have social media. You can follow all sorts of brilliant people. Myself, there's all sorts of sales trainers out there. There's all sorts of people that have written books. There's all sorts of sales masters that you can follow outside of just watching my videos here, that you can follow on social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and learn from them as they're giving videos like this, or as if they have books or whatever. Reach out to them. send them a message. Instead of asking them for a bunch of free advice, tell them what, hey, I'll do anything to help promote your brand. I share your stuff all the time. I'm a huge fan. I'm facing this struggle. Like just get in with those people, because oftentimes, like myself, we like what we do. We like being the top producer, and we like helping bring other people up to that level. Not the fact that I'm a sales trainer, take that off the table, just the fact that I'm a human being that likes to help people be successful, like most of us. Most of us don't want to see you fail, right? Most people don't want to see another person fail. They're like, man, I really hope that this person can get to the level that they say. It's highly unlikely, but I really hope that they can. Most of us don't want to watch people fail, but then we get scared to go friend up. We try to, hey, well, now I'm better than all my friends because I'm the guy that's making all the money, right? If you're the dude that's making all the money in your circle, you're in the wrong fucking circle. I can tell you that. I've been there. I've been the guy before that was making a couple $100,000 a year and hung out with all my buddies that went to college and were making $40,000 a year, and I paid for the bottles in the club and all that shit. And I'm telling you, I didn't get any life value out of that. Meanwhile, I started hanging out with people who were millionaires long before I was a millionaire, right? And no fake it till you make it. I'm like, hey, dude, I'm coachable. I want to be there. I'm going to get there one day. Show me the way. I want to be your friend. And guess what? They're buying the bottles and shit for me, right? Like when we go out and have a good time, it's not like kangaroo arms or what they say on the Geico commercial, like alligator arms where nobody wants to pay for the check and, I got to be the big shot salesman. It's like, hey, everybody's running in for the check at the same time. Right? Because we're on a different level. So I just want you to think about this. You're not going to become a sales expert. You're not going to make more money. You're not going to be able to crush your marketplace unless you, A, surround yourself with better friends, B, take the knowledge that you learned from those friends and put it into action, and then make things happen, right? Like you can't become a sales expert hanging out with the losers at the water cooler, having loser-ass conversations. You can't become a millionaire hanging out with people that are taking welfare checks and that, spent 10 years in college and make $40,000 a year. And just because they got all the education in the world doesn't mean they have any implementation skills whatsoever. You can't hang out with those people. Right? You can't go to a therapist who makes $80,000 a year and talk about your problems and hope that she's going to solve your financial problems and turn you into a millionaire. It's fucking ludicrous. She's not a millionaire. How can she give you that advice? So what I'm saying is surround yourself with the right people, the right place, the right time, the right things happen. Later, closers. I'm going to go to dinner with Super Bowl champion with the New England Patriots, Tim McGalley, baby, because you surround yourself with winners. And I want to go all the way to the top, winner of the Super Bowl, dude. That's like such a small percentage of people. And that's who I'm having personal dinner with tonight, because I have leveled up and I surround myself with people better than me. Later.